Full disclosure, I actually had my testicles removed so that I could lend them to Lane on that day, and he used them wisely.
CNN propaganda. This guy's a CNN agent.
I think 100%. CNN is the worst outlet in the country.
Actually, other members here of Mug Club, Louder with Crowder, they didn't just appear, they actually took over CNN just last night. And you know what? I'm pretty proud of them, did a good job, but this is funny.
But not everyone who came here was a fan of Jackson's.
Now, what did you think?
I think he's an insane person.
Insane?
Yeah, I think he's insane. Rightfully criticizes America where they should be criticized, but then glorifies the Chinese Communist Party, North Korea, terrorists, that have kidnapped and murdered people. I think it's weird how he ties himself to MAGA and MAGA communism when Donald Trump is the most pro-Israeli president that's ever lived. MAGA communism are complete polar opposites of each other.
Are you going to try to speak to him?
Yeah, I'm going to try to speak to him.
Okay.
I'm going to do so as a gentleman.
Nice to meet you.
Lane Kendall, a provocateur in his own right.
Let's ask about
Who
Palestine.
propped up Hamas? Why do we think Hamas had the ability to do what they did?
That's called propaganda.
Has a history of appearing on online conservative media.
Nice to meet you.
Good. There's one thing when you talk about it, I want to make sure I understand. When you go into things about China, Russia, Iran, especially China, you omit so much about them. I'm from Texas. And the things that you're omitting.
Lived in China?
I have lived in China. I went to Tsinghua University. You don't say that 600 million people in the country still live on less than $1.40 a day.
Well,
why don't you say those things?
Okay. You're very, very emotional.
I am, yeah. Because
Jackson quickly realized that he wasn't talking to just another fan.
All right. CNN propaganda. This guy's a CNN agent.
I think
100%.
CNN is the worst outlet in the country.
Time to get out, buddy. Danny.
Is it the Kremlin?
Get this guy out.
Didn't answer the questions, did he? Didn't think so. Put that on CNN.
Now, full disclosure, I actually had my testicles removed so that I could lend them to Lane on that day, and he used them wisely. It was talk about a brass pair. That's a quad pair of balls, as we call it in the industry of testicular forensics. I love him saying, turning to the CNN camera, I think CNN is the worst outlet in America, to their camera with their watermark. And I hope that you guys see this too. You see, people just aren't honest with you. CNN says, he has an appearance of, he has a history of appearing on right-wing conservative podcasts. You mean he works here? He's a provocateur. I'm going to ask him as a gentleman. Oh, look at that. He's just looking for, it's the opposite of clickbait. And then you have this guy, and this is what happens when people are on the right, they try and tar and feather anyone who criticizes anyone, right, who might be seen on the right or who might be seen as being in the sort of edge troll sphere. They go, oh, you're CNN, you're prop. So they just try and label you a leftist. So I cannot find fault with anything he did. I don't think someone could have handled it better. Ginger Snap, Lane the Brain is here. Did you know that was going up on CNN?
No, I had no idea. I knew that we might end up getting featured because the cameras were there, and I talked to Donnie, and then Donnie started following me on Twitter. I was like, oh, he's doing a little OSIN on me, but I didn't know until my friend from the Philippines sent it to me. She's like, I just woke up and turned on CNN. What the hell's going on? I was like, I don't know.
She just woke up and, well, that's a former friend.
Well, she was at a hotel at a Formula One race, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the circumstances. But that was a lot of fun. And did they ever, it doesn't matter, the follow-ups.
I was not reached for comment.
You were not reached for comment?
I was not, unfortunately.
Well, I think you made your comment when you said, I think that CNN, your camera, is this CNN camera, is the worst outlet in America.
That was great. Was there anything that they didn't show that you wish they had?
Yeah, there was. I had like a nice 10-minute conversation with them out in the hallway, and they asked me if they thought he was spreading misinformation and should be allowed to do so. I said, I think it's misinformation, but he should be allowed to do so.
They won't put that on CNN.
But then I said, it's kind of like when you pretend that refugee camps have a bunch of refugees living in them, and then you report that without doing any fact checking. That's misinformation, but I guess you should be allowed to do that too. They did not air that.
They didn't?
Either. No,
they won't air that.
But we have it all on B-roll.
Does the guy who interviewed, is he as weird looking in person as he looks on air?
He looks about like that.
He looks.
To be fair, he was nice and cordial and professional.
I'm sure.
But I'm sure.
keep that door open.
I don't want to keep it.
I like that you could see the life go kind of blink out of his eyes when he asked, "You ever lived in China?" And you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, I went to college there. And he's like, "Oh shit."
And he goes, yeah. Well, you talk like a girl.
Nice fanny pack, China boy.
Just went to the insult right away because he had nothing.
I do think I had a nip slip out of my wife beater at one of those points, but I don't know if that'll be controversial.
Try to get him banned.
No,
from
that's trust me. That's good TV. Hey, if you like this video, you can hit the notification bell there to know when new videos come out. Because I don't think subscriptions are still a thing on YouTube, but you're an adult, most likely, so you can just choose one of the videos here to keep watching, and hopefully it's similar. I don't know what it is.